What is up, everyone? We're going to talk about the 4 low-cost remote franchise ideas that will allow you to quit your corporate job. So I'm passionate about this topic because this is exactly what I did. Is I started a business on the side while I was working in corporate and finally quit my job 2 years after that and booked a one-way flight to Colombia and started traveling the world. I was traveling for about 5 or 6 years and still continuing to do so while scaling my business. And I think there's hidden gems and hidden business opportunities which allow you to do this, right? I think the business model you pick really allows you to do this or not allows you to do this. So you have to be wise with what you select. And I think there's huge opportunity for you to be able to do so. So first of all, who am I? My name is Neil. I'm the founder and CEO of a company called MaidThis franchise. It's the first and only Airbnb cleaning franchise that exists. Fully remote model, low cost, and allows you to do it as a side hustle to eventually quit your job and travel the world. So I'm going to talk about a few of the models I think are best suited for something like this. Cool? So we're going to dive right into it. So number one, I'm going to give you criteria of what I think is a good fit for this. The criteria for this analysis is number one, low cost. It has to be low cost. Number two, you have to be able to start it as a side hustle. And the third criteria is it can be done remote. Cool. So those are the parameters we're going to play with to figure out what is the best business model for you to pick to be able to quit your corporate job. So I'm going to admit a bias. I really like home service companies, and I like them for a few reasons. Number one, I think it's a pretty untapped niche where a lot of the competitors are small mom and pop shops who don't really know what they're doing. So you can kind of go in, do things which in the current day are kind of normal, but really dominate the competition. So easier to get business than, let's say, e-commerce, digital marketing, any other quote unquote remote business. Number two, I like it because now in this day and age with how things have gone with technology, you can do this fully remotely, right? The cleaner or the technician can go straight from their home to the job site, meaning you don't have to have an office space, storage space, somewhere for you to be constantly. So you can maintain a corporate job while still building this on the side and just making sure you're able to coordinate things really well. So, and the last macro trend here is home services are on the rise. This was the number one franchise opportunity in 2021. Home services. Everyone was getting into home services. And here's why. People are working from home more than ever now. They have a lot of disposable income. Therefore, they want to make sure their home is pleasant because they're spending a lot more time at home and they weren't doing this before. Therefore, home services has boomed, right? It's almost a necessity to have some sort of home service done. And that's why this industry has popped off a lot. So I'm going to talk about the 4 models I like in this industry and what you can do to finally quit your day job and start a side hustle and travel the world. Number one, I will admit I'm very biased here. Home cleaning, I think, is a fantastic niche, and I mean residential cleaning. Here's why. It hits all the 3 criteria I mentioned. Low cost, it can be started as a side hustle, and you can do it completely remotely. So why I like it is for many people, this can be a need to have, not simply nice to have. Sometimes when people get in the habit of getting a home cleaning, they need it. It needs to be done, and people are always looking for it, right? Also, the demand is there. This is not a new industry. This is something everyone wants, meaning people are already searching for this. All you need to do is capture that existing demand. You don't need to create demand. It's not something super specialized where there's a few people in any town looking for it. At any given moment, there's a lot of people looking for cleaning in your town. It's always there. Lastly, the competition kind of sucks for the most part. Most cities have pretty low competition, very untech savvy competitors, don't really know what they're doing, maybe don't even pick up the phone. So therefore, the competition is much less and you could really dive into it really quickly. It's also easy to get started in my mind. You can just initially start working with people who are already doing it. Go to them and say, hey, how much do you get paid for this? Cool, that's how much you charge. I'm going to go and pay you that. Just work with me and I'm going to send you clients. Easy way just to get rolling and then you can kind of evolve from there. So in short, it's a very unsophisticated market and there's a lot of supply and demand for this type of service, meaning it's easy to get into and easy to start. Next would be a franchise opportunity which caters to this. Again, clearly biased, but I must say MaidThis franchise, first and only remote cleaning franchise that exists. Just go to maidthisfranchise.com to check it out. It's low cost, lean. You can keep your day job while you do it. That's one franchise opportunity I can recommend for this model to be able to do it as a side hustle. The next business model I like a lot is actually painting. Here's why I like painting. This is the type of industry which is a pure marketing play. It's mostly a one and done. You don't get a recurring service from this, right? Someone orders a painting, they get a painting done for their home. That's great. You're not going to sell them on a recurring plan to say, hey, why don't you I do painting for you every single month, right? It just doesn't exist. So this is a pure marketing business model where you will get the job, sell them, and then outsource to a subcontractor, let's say, who can actually do the painting job. You can take it one step forward once you scale and actually have your own team doing the painting, but even just to get started, you can't just subcontract it out. Because it is a pure marketing and sales play, it lends itself really, really well to being something where it's fully remote and you can do it while keeping your day job, right? If you're really focused on just marketing and really focused on just sales, there's a lot of ways to structure this, right? You get someone to do leads for you. A customer calls after your marketing endeavors. That person will pick up the phone, set appointments. You can go after work to actually give out the quote and bid for the job. Then you outsource the actual labor to someone who actually just does the labor, meaning the painters. So it's the type of industry which I think is very specialized, very niche, high ticket amount, at least $1,000 for a painting. So you don't need that many. You just need to be really, really good at digital marketing, which you can learn. Franchises I like in this space, which I recommend checking out. 5-Star Painting is one of them. Been around for a long time. They use a subcontractor model as well. There's another one called Freshcoat. I don't know much about them. I know they're pretty low cost and inexpensive to start as well. So those would be two I'd recommend to check out. The other business model I like, which is fully remote and would allow you to quit your corporate job eventually, would be garage setup. Keep it on the theme of home services because that's what I really like. I think garage setup is something which people don't really think about, but that's an industry which exists and people are actually looking for it. So why I like it, in some ways less competition. There's not that many people who are doing it and you kind of need to know what you're doing. You can't just hire an average schmuck off the street and say, hey, please organize my garage and please set up my garage and please put things up. At the same time, it's something the homeowner cannot do themselves unless they're really, really handy. These people need a garage setup done for them. They need someone to come in with the materials, set up the garage, organize it. Most people are not going to want to buy the power tools and do it themselves nor learn how to do it. So this is, I think, a very untapped niche. And if you look at what's happening in the industry, people are spending more and more time at home. Especially wealthier families have a lot more disposable income to spend. And they say, hey, I'm in my house. Home prices are rising. I need extra space. Let me convert my garage. That's what a lot of people are doing. So this is kind of a growing niche, which is benefiting from a rising sea. A rising tide carries all ships, right? So everyone in this industry is going to be making a lot more money because a lot of people are searching for this now. So that's why I like it. It's a relatively untapped, large ticket item. You could probably outsource a lot of the things too if you partner with the right person, meaning you can partner with a company through a franchise system, which can be able to send you materials, teach you how to do things. And all you really need to focus on is selling. So franchises I like in this space, there's one called Garage Experts, which is relatively low cost. They handle a lot of the supplying for you for the material and teach you a lot of things. So Garage Experts would be one I checked out. And I kind of like their model. I like the industry they're in and the niche they're in. And the final low-cost remote franchise opportunity for you, which I would be able to recommend, is mobile car detailing. So here's why. Everyone has cars, right? And these cars need to be clean. And you might not be the person to say, oh, why would I ever order someone to come over to my house and clean my car? But there's a ton of these people who exist. Everyone is a potential customer in theory, right? Because of that, you only need a very small fraction of the market to make a lot of money. And a lot of these customers are willing to pay for convenience. They don't want to drive to a car wash, but they need their car washed. So why I like it is once you get a customer and you identify that customer is going to want to book with you multiple times. Hopefully you could get them on a recurring program. So what I like about this niche is you can get recurring programs, same as home cleaning. Oftentimes the tickets are lower priced, right? So home cleaning as well as mobile car detailing. The cleanings are going to be between, let's say, $50 to $300 max, right? So relatively low cost, but you try to get them on their recurring program, which is why I really, really like it. I also think this niche is going to grow as a lot of people have more disposable income and people are getting into the industry a little bit more too. Yelp, for example, never had a category for mobile car detailing, but now they do. I don't think Google local service ads at the current moment have a pop-up for mobile car detailing, but I think it's going to be coming. I think it's just such a growing niche. There's a booking software called Booking Koala, which a lot of cleaning companies use, and they mentioned their fastest growing niche is mobile car detailing, right? So I think it's a great industry for that reason and something you can look into. If you want to look at a franchise option in this industry, there's one called Green Shine Waterless Car Wash. I like it because it's low cost, it's waterless, so you don't need a massive vehicle to go do jobs. Also, I think in general, you could run the subcontractor model for this type of setup as well, where you do the sales and you send a subcontractor to go do the jobs and scale from there. It's something that can be easily learned and grown. So hopefully this gives you some ideas, some inspiration for different low-cost remote business models, which will hopefully allow you to quit your job, travel the world, and do whatever you want. So thank you for tuning in. And if you're interested in MaidThis franchise, check out the link below. Thanks so much.